Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier recounts how humans created Sentinels to hunt and kill mutants. While they at first only hunted mutants, the Sentinels later began targeting humans who held a probability of becoming mutants. The resulting events have created an apocalyptic wasteland in which only a handful of mutants have survived, facing extinction should they be found by the Sentinels. 3 Strange objects are ejected from a large airship and crashed to the ground. Warpath realizes that the Sentinels have found them and leaves with Blink to warn the others, including Colossus, Sunspot, Bishop, Iceman, and Kitty Pryde. Bishop immediately requests that Sunspot give him some energy in the form of fire, which he absorbs and channels into his advanced rifle. Bishop takes off with Kitty Pryde as the others form a ring of defense against the invading Sentinels. The Sentinels drill into the mutants' base, their bodies having the ability to rearrange into different forms and tools. They break through and Sunspot engages the first, drenching it in flames. Colossus engages the second, getting knocked to the ground by the towering Sentinel. Warpath tries to help but is knocked away. The third Sentinel intercepts Bishop and Kitty. Bishop fires a large energy blast at the Sentinel, barely affecting it. Blink appears via the use of her portals and makes an exit for the 2 fleeing mutants. She then opens up a portal for Iceman to assist against their foe. Iceman uses his ice slide to outmaneuver the pursuing Sentinel, encasing it in a thick wall of ice. Kitty and Bishop arrive at a safe room where Kitty has Bishop lie on a table. She puts her hands around his head as he loses consciousness. Logan wakes up and finds himself in bed with a woman. He looks outside and realizes that the procedure has worked. It is 1973. Seconds later, 3 thugs burst through the door as Logan is getting dressed. Apparently, he was supposed to be guarding someone's daughter instead of sleeping with her. He asks if they would believe that he was from the future, at which they scoff. He extends his bone claws and the henchmen pull out guns and begin shooting him. He heals from his wounds and proceeds to take out the men, stealing their car. The next scene introduces Bolivar Trask, who is trying to convince members of Congress to fund his Sentinel program. He tells the panel that mutants are a threat to humanity. The committee does not share Trask's belief, saying that if mutants have been among humankind for some time now, they have existed peacefully alongside their fellow humans. They decide to not provide the funding. In a U.S. military camp in Vietnam, a high-ranking Army officer walks into a segregated tent to find a man named William Stryker preparing to take a group of mutants into custody. The Army officer says that these men are going home. Stryker flashes around a document claiming to be part of a special outfit who is transferring the mutants to a Trask Industries facility, informing the Army officer that he doesn't have jurisdiction. The officer counters that he does, transforming into the shapeshifter Mystique. She begins to take out all of the men in the tent in hand-to-hand combat with some assistance from the mutants. Before she can kill Stryker, one of the mutants intervenes and knocks Stryker unconscious. This mutant is Havoc from the previous film in the series, and he asks about the whereabouts of Magneto. Mystique responds that she's on her own now. The mutants board a plane home while Mystique walks away in disguise, claiming that there is still work to be done. In the future, the Sentinels have breached the room and killed Iceman with energy beams. They confront the last of the survivors and fire killing shots at the group, which includes Xavier, Kitty, and the still unconscious Logan. Just before the shots can reach them, everyone on screen disappears. Mystique has dropped the gun in the past and decided not to kill Trask. Magneto remarks that if he is turned in, they will kill him. Xavier agrees and releases control of him, allowing Magneto to levitate and flee. Newspapers run headlines saying that a mutant saved the president, that the Sentinel program was being shut down, and that Trask was being indicted for treason. In a voiceover, Xavier explains that events can cause ripples through the river of time, and when enough ripples are created, the flow of the river can be changed. Back in the past we see that Logan's body was recovered by military personnel. He comes back to life aboard the boat with an army official asking William Stryker what he would like to do with him. Stryker replies that he will take him. As the scene cuts away we see that it is actually Mystique disguised as Stryker. In a post-credits scene, a skinny bluish mutant, robed and hooded, stands atop a structure. Hundreds of people are bowing to him and chanting his name En-Sabah-Nur as he uses his powers to levitate ancient pyramids into place. We see 4 people on horseback covered in black as the scene fades to black. Apocalypse and his 4 horsemen. At an airport, Charles uses random people as avatars to urge Mystique to stop her mission. Charles is not yet strong enough to mentally stop Mystique as she resists his mental probes. He fails to stop her and he, along with Hank and Logan, depart for Washington, D.C. for the press conference. Back on the plane, Eric says that he was not the one who killed JFK. He claims that he was trying to save him, his reasoning being that JFK was a fellow mutant.